Welcome back. New this morning. In November 2020, Arizona voters chose to pass Prop 207, making the use of recreational marijuana legal for people aged 21 and over in our state. In response, new legislation was also passed that allows people with marijuana-related convictions in Arizona to have their records expunged. Starting July 12th, courts will start taking those petitions. So how do you make that happen if you're in that situation? Criminal defense attorney Jason Lamm is walking us through the process this morning. Jason, good morning. Thanks for being with us.
Hi, Olivia. Great to see you as always.
This is a big issue, I imagine, for a lot of people. I don't know what the numbers would be about how many people have this type of violation on their record, but begin with what does it mean for those of us who didn't go to law school? Expunged exactly is what?
Expungement means it basically disappears in the wind. It gives you, as someone, not you, Olivia, but someone who's been convicted of possession of marijuana, the ability to say truthfully that they've never been arrested, that they've never been convicted. The conviction basically disappears. And with that, they get all of their civil rights back that may have been lost as a result of their conviction. And that includes the right to possess firearms. So it's a really big deal that's available to people now as a result of this new change in the law.
Yeah, not to mention, say you're on a job application and you've been having to answer that you have had a criminal prosecution in the past, and now that will change.
That will change, and people who are renting property can say no, and oftentimes that's an impediment to leasing an apartment or a house. So a lot of big positive changes coming for people.
So, Jason, hearing this, some may think that this is automatically going to happen, but obviously that is not the case. So how do they begin to clear up that record?
Well, everything sounds simple, Olivia, but the truth is, as with anything in the legal system, it's a process because prosecutors do have the right to object. I've actually had a number of people contact me already to start the expungement process, even though we can't file the petitions on their behalf until early July because there's going to be such a rush in the courts. So having a lawyer like myself navigate you through the legal process can be a really big help, and a lot of people are already taking advantage of that.
Yeah, because I imagine that these petitions are going to be queued up because it is important for an important opportunity for a lot of people. What circumstances will it not impact? Because I imagine some of these prosecutions in the past have involved other crimes at the same time.
Sure, Olivia. If it was a marijuana distribution charge, it's not going to be eligible for expungement. If it were another drug like heroin or cocaine, that's not going to be eligible either. It's anything that's consistent with Proposition 207, which, as you said a moment ago, legalize recreational use. So offenses involving possession of marijuana, marijuana-related paraphernalia, cultivating or growing small quantities, those will all be eligible offenses, but those are the only offenses that can be expunged.
We've seen, of course, a delay and a backup with much of our lives, including the court system during the last year for the pandemic. Is this going to be an issue?
Well, that's really something for the courts to answer, but they've got to know that this is coming. They've got to have the resources in place. And perhaps that's one of the reasons why the legislature delayed the effective date of this, to allow the judicial system to get its ducks in a row, because there are going to be so many people who want to apply to get the conviction expunged. And by the way, that's going to force the clerk of the court to actually seal the court file. So if someone goes online and does a search for you, and right now there's a conviction for possession of marijuana, they won't see the case. And law enforcement is going to have to clear their databases as well. So there's a lot of moving parts here, and I think the judicial system is ramping up. But the key is, if you're going to take advantage of this new law, do it right. And do it right the first time, because it's a big deal, and there's a big pot of gold for people who are able to get this, what we'll call prior indiscretion, removed from their record and make it disappear once and for all.
Yeah, you can sure understand the motivation for wanting to do so. Jason, real quick as we wrap, what's your website, or how do people get a hold of you?
I'm easy to get a hold of. www.thephoenixcriminalattorney.com. We have a whole section dedicated to expungements, to explain to people what the process is. And like I said, I've already had people reaching out to me, even though we're probably a good 6 weeks out from being able to file the petitions. It's something to take advantage of now. And whatever happened in the past, get it behind you once and for all. Take advantage of this new Arizona law.
Jason, thank you so much.